Whenever a trader loses money, you hear the same old story. The market is rigged, it's manipulated. But what if I told you the real reason most people fail isn't some secret conspiracy, but something way closer to home? Let's get into it.
Yeah. Just look at that number for a second. 90%. It's a pretty staggering statistic, right? 90% of people who try trading end up losing money. But, understanding this is actually the first real step to making sure you're not one of them.
So this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? I mean, think about it. We all have access to the same charts, the same news, the same information. So what's the deal? Why does such a massive, massive majority just fail? Well, the answer probably isn't what you think it is.
And there it is, the classic excuse. It's just so easy to blame some invisible, faceless them who are out to get you. Honestly, it feels a lot better to think you got cheated than to admit that maybe, just maybe, you made a mistake. Because the reality is, for almost all of that 90%, the enemy isn't the market at all. The real enemy is the person staring back at them in the mirror. The biggest thing holding you back from success in trading is, well, it's you.
That's right. You can have the best strategy in the world, but the game is actually won or lost before you even click that buy or sell button. It's all a psychological battle, a war fought right inside your own head. Your strategy is important, sure, but your mindset, that's everything.
And this right here, this captures that internal war perfectly. On one side, you've got the emotional roller coaster of the 90%, that fear of missing out, panic selling at the worst possible time, revenge trading, and on the other side, the calm, collected discipline of the 10%. Patience, sticking to a strategy, analysis, and just relentless consistency. Oh man, this is the lie that social media screams at you every single day. You're scrolling your feed, you see all the screenshots of crazy gains, the Lambos, the watches, and it creates this powerful illusion that it's easy, that everyone is getting rich. This feeling is a total trap. And it's a trap that leads directly to some really terrible decisions. You start chasing coins that have already shot up 1,000%. You blindly copy some random influencer without doing any research. You jump from one holy grail strategy to the next, week after week, never mastering anything. Hype is the enemy of consistency. And this is so, so important. Listen to this. A mediocre strategy with excellent discipline will probably make you money. But the best strategy in the world with zero discipline? Oh, the market will find a way to take every single cent from you. It's basically a giant discipline testing machine. Okay, so the second major reason people fail, they jump into the market completely unprepared. It's kind of like being dropped in the middle of a dense jungle at night with no map, no compass, no flashlight. You're just wandering around, hoping you stumble onto the right path. And this chaos is what it looks like in practice. No plan for managing risk, no safety net like a stop loss, no rules for when to take profits. These aren't just suggestions, they are absolutely non-negotiable. Without them, you don't have a system. You're just clicking buttons. I love this quote because it's so brutally honest. I buy when the price looks like it's going up is not a strategy. A real strategy is a clear, simple, repeatable process with defined rules for everything. When you get in, when you get out, and how you manage your risk. Let's just be blunt here. If you're clicking buttons without understanding the basic concepts like how the market moves, its structure, its trends, you're not trading, you're gambling. And we all know who wins in the long run when you gamble, right? The house always wins. All right, enough of the doom and gloom. It's not impossible to succeed. It's really not. The path has been paved by the people who have actually made it. So let's talk about the solution. Let's look at the actual, actionable blueprint that can get you out of that 90% club and into the profitable 10%. Here it is. This is your map out of that jungle. The 5 pillars of successful trading. And notice, it's not about finding some secret indicator or a magic formula. It's about mastering these fundamentals: risk management, journaling, focus, understanding the market, and finally, getting a handle on your own emotions.
Let's start with the big one, risk management. This simple rule is your shield. It's your armor. By never ever risking more than 1 or 2% of your account on a single trade, you guarantee your survival. You can be wrong 10, 20, even 30 times in a row, and you are still in the game. The 90% blow up their accounts, the 10% protect theirs at all costs. This is such a powerful difference. After a losing trade, what do the 90% do? They complain, they blame the market, they blame some influencer, they get angry. What do the 10% do? They open their trading journal. They analyze what went wrong, what they could have done better, and they learn. Your journal is your personal trading coach.
And this all brings us back to the final and maybe the most important piece of the puzzle: controlling your emotions. We spend so much time and energy chasing that perfect strategy, but look at this. That's only 20% of the game. The real work, the 80% that actually decides if you win or lose, is mastering your own mind, controlling that fear, that greed, that impatience.
So ultimately, it really just boils down to these three things. If you can fix your discipline, nail down your risk management, and work on cultivating a professional mindset, you will, almost by default, pull yourself away from the losing crowd.
This is the absolute core truth of this whole thing. The market is neutral. It doesn't know you exist. It certainly doesn't care if you win or lose. The real battle was never you versus the market. It's you versus your own worst impulses. So the final question is for you. The path to joining the 10% isn't about outsmarting Wall Street. It's about mastering yourself. So are you ready to stop being your own worst enemy and start being your own greatest asset?